Yo, what's good? So, Mei, I think this is the set where I started to like figuring out how I wanted to play her. Of course, you have like the basic combos down. Here I'm doing her optimal route, but actually I ended up dropping it because I didn't know what route to go for. She has 3 or 4 different routes she can get from that shit, and it's new. Coming from MK11, MK11 you had 2 routes and you called it a day. So, actually having options is nice. This time around I did land it. I think it's like 37, 38%. Which, thank God, it's only 1 bar, 1 cameo assist, and almost 40%, which is disgusting. Really glad she has damage. Most characters had damage. Even Kitana had damage. She did kind of have to, work harder than everybody else, but she got damage, so that's good. Here I get a easy punish. So you can see why Frost is so good. You get a jab punish, whether it's with 1-2 or 2-1, or even stand 4, and it's an easy confirm into her freeze, right? So you get freeze, you get your usual forward 4 combo extender, and it's guaranteed damage. Like, if you drop it, that's on you, but that's usually guaranteed damage one way or another. Like, yeah, they could break away, but it's 3 bars, and they need a cameo. So, it's nice that she has damage and combos to start with. Here you see him get clipped by the overhead. That shit is so fucking unblockable. Like, you're gonna catch everybody with that shit. And you can do it instant. Just jump, down back kick, you got it. That shit's it's instant, does good damage. It's a good check, because she doesn't really have mix in the way that one would think that she has mix. So she's not a Sub-Zero with a low with an overhead. She's not Johnny with staggers and throws. But she has that really nice fucking instant air overhead, which it's good if you just catch them not blocking. And something just reflecting upon later down the line, I think the last day that I played the beta, I was like, why should I even block low versus Mei? Yeah, she has pokes, but like there's nothing to be afraid of until you remember that she has that forward 4. And that forward 4, even though it's low-key hard to hit confirm, because it's only one hit, right? It's one hit, and then you either do the overhead or do the launcher. But that shit actually catches people. Like, the trip guard with that thing is insane. Like, you would think it's not gonna reach, but it does. Most of the times it will reach. But then you fight people like up close, and you're like, why should I even block low? Like, that shit's kind of slow. It's really slow. It's a really slow low starter. And most of the times you're usually just stand blocking, expecting an overhead or whatever. Her pressure is okay, but then you remember that she has no mids. You're gonna see me micro ducking a lot, and that's because the same thing. She has no mids. Like, there's absolutely no reason for me to respect it. You have her 1-2, which is 0 or like +1 on block, right? And oh, what do you get from that? A jab. That's it. You get a jab. A down 1 even, not even a standing jab. Down 1. And a lot of times you just get poked out of. Like, you try to throw, but I'm pretty sure throws don't beat strike on this game. So you ended up getting poked. And it's a really big struggle. You can do 1-2-4 into assist, but you kind of lose your turn. Unless you're using some type of assist that allows you to continue. Kind of like Kano with his knives or whatever, right? But I do think she struggles a lot in pressure. She has your usual jab, you move in, try to mix it up. But her not having a mid is really hurting her. Like, she has no like instant check option. She cannot thread you kind of like Liu Kang or Johnny can, or even Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero has big ass bag 2 overhead. It's disgusting. But then you have Mei. Mei has really good conversions, really good damage, really good enders, but then you go to pressure and you're like, I don't know. I don't know, she could use some help here. Of course, it's just a beta, so we don't really know what we're doing yet. We kinda know what we're doing, but not really. So I think it's probably just a matter of time, right? The game's gonna come out next week, so it's just a matter of time to see who figures out what first. Here's your usual combo, conversion. That kitty cat is really good because it gives you a lot of advantage frames. You can probably jump, do a jump midi, or just keep your turn. I figured that was probably like my favorite ender, because sometimes you do back forward 4, which is her armor move, right? and I got input errors, right? So I was like, I'm gonna just do Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat is fine, does good damage, gives you good OK, especially in the corner. Mid screen, not so much it does, but I would rather just use the air ender with the kicks. But it is what it is. Here you saw him use the Frost setup move. I got hit. I never used it. I forgot to use it. But there's a way you can set that move up if you're using Mei with her double lantern combo. You do double lantern, call Frost in, and it's an almost guaranteed setup. They have to block, and if you throw them, it hits. It combo extends. It's good. But I didn't get to mess around with it, so you know it is what it is. Here you see me use the amplified projectile, which technically is her only launcher, like special move launcher, right? So you got Sub-Zero, which he can freeze you in the ground, go into his normal combo extender. But then you have Mei. Mei doesn't really have that. She has amplified projectile, which doesn't allow you to connect into her forward 4. It doesn't allow you really to connect into her air stuff. So you get a basic ass conversion. You get like a 26-28% basic ass conversion, right? And that's probably like my biggest gripe about her. Like if I wasn't using Frost, I was not using Mei. Okay, you could use Jax. Jax gets an easy conversion from her back forward 4. You could use Sonya, which it's almost the same thing. She gets an easy conversion, but none of them allowed you to start a combo the way Frost did. So I'm really hoping Mei herself gets something that allows her to pop off a little bit more and not be so cameo dependent. Because I think her being cameo dependent kinda it's intended, but at the same time I would like to be able to play the actual character without the cameo. But I guess that's the reason why they're there, right? But yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, but it's not necessary. You see him throw that forward 4. I'm telling you, like, some people will throw it out. Like, they will fully trust that you will not block it. But even forward 4 by itself is unsafe. That low, you try to stagger it. But if they're ready, that shit's unsafe. I think it's like -9, 9ish. I think. But it's whatever. Here you saw me use Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat it's a DP. Kitty Cat is a DP on MK. It hits. It has a really long duration, right? That the moment you get it out, the moment it leaves the screen, that's all the time it's gonna hit. And it hits from behind. It hits from on top, not behind. On top and in front of her, right? It's a really good anti-air. She actually has an anti-air move. Like, it's not intended to be an anti-air, but it works wonderfully to be an anti-air. I haven't seen instances where combos. Maybe it does if you do maybe with Jax or Sonya. I didn't mess with Jax or Sonya, so I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. You could probably combo it if you have a lantern up, if you set it up beforehand. Cut it in a lantern and throw the Kitty Cat out. Maybe they try to, I don't know, just making up instances where it could work. But a Kitty Cat is a really good move. I ended up using it a lot, especially because I'm not the greatest at anti-airing. I can do it with Johnny, because Johnny has a really good jab. But then you have Mei, and it could work with Mei. You do stand 1, then you do stand 4 into down back 4. Not down back, back forward 4. And it's good. It's alright. It's nothing like Johnny, but it's good for Mei. Mei doesn't really have any forward advancing moves. That's the thing about her. So it's hard to get conversions, like air to ground conversions, all around. Like, all of her moves keep her stationary for most of the part. Like stand 4, jab, stand 2. All of those moves keep you stationary. So it's kind of hard to convert when you're on the move. But no, her anti-game it's alright. You have Kitty Cat, you have stand 1. 1-2. I think it's 1-2 or 2-1, where if they catch you in the air, it will combo, and it's kind of cool, low key. I'm really hoping that if there's a cameo out there which kind of restands you, I think it's gonna work really good with Mei. Like, restands you from the air, right? You could call in her EX projectile, do stand 4-3 cameo, and he will restand you. And I think that has a lot of potential. I think Striker has a restand, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly. Or, just, I don't know, there's so much potential here. And I feel Mei is a perfect example of potential. She has the kit. She just needs a little bit of help, and that little bit of help can come in through a lot of different ways. You see Frost. Frost allows her to get pressure with her Frost neutral assist, setups with her back assist, and combos with the Freaks assist, right? I feel there's a lot of potential here, and cameos are really gonna like it's either like make or break depending on the cameo you have. Like there's actually gonna be matchups in which, Frost and Li Mei is not gonna work. But if you throw in Scorpion and Li Mei, and that shit's godlike, who knows? Maybe it is. But that's the basic idea that I think they're going for. And Li Mei is like the perfect example for it. She is good all around, but kinda needs a little bit of help. I think a lot of people were comparing her to Liu Kang. Like Liu Kang is good all around, but he kinda needs a cameo to make stuff work. And even though I don't think that's bad, I do think that I would rather have a good strong character than have a cameo as the second option, and not exactly as trying to make an opportunity for that cameo to allow you to play the game. It's like I would rather let the character play the game and have the cameo as a backup, right? You know, but it is what it is. The game's not even out, so I'm not gonna be bitching about it. Just having good old games, and yeah, what's the score so far? Like four something? I don't know. But I do think this is probably the set where I first starting to like just figure her out completely. You see me do a lot of movement. That's meaningless movement. Most of the times I'm just moving to move. Look at that. I'm just teabagging fucking mid screen. Why? I don't know. Force of habit. MK1 did that. See, hit confirms are not even hard in this game. Especially with Li Mei. Like you can hit confirm 1-2 Frost all day. It's such an easy hit confirm. Stand 4-3, all of that's easy. You saw that. We did the same shit right there. Like, we're sharing a fucking brain cell right now. Because this shit is not even hard. It's not even hard. You see me on command do anti-air, and it worked. You saw Kitty Cat do the work. I didn't do it twice because I'm a bot. But apparently he doesn't know how to block low, so I don't know who's the bot here. And you see me do, like, the most basic 101 Li Mei shit. And I just tried to figure her out. You do microducks because Li Mei has no mids, which, it's sad, but I guess we can work with that. You see him do that overhead? That shit's actually kind of real. I did happen to flawless block and punish. I had time to dash and grab. So that must be like really unsafe. I didn't bother to check how unsafe it is. I just know that it's really unsafe. And she has moves, but it's just I just don't know how to use the rest of them. You saw that forward 3 overhead? There's a way to link that forward 3 into a lamp. But I never bothered trying to learn it, because most people will not let you even get that forward 3 off. That overhead, you will, there's a long ass start to that. It's usually, kind of like Aaron Black's forward 4, but with less of a priority, right? So, you saw him do forward 4, and you either had to block, because you couldn't interrupt it, really. But here, Li Mei kind of stays stationary. She barely even moves forward when doing that overhead. Kind of more like Rambo's, right? But slower. And a lot of people would just poke you out of it. So I don't know how to feel about that overhead, but it's alright. You see him do that stand. I don't know if it's stand 3-3 or stand 3-4, which is high into low. I never used it because I genuinely just forgot it existed. I kind of played really 101 Li Mei. Only use her jabs, only use her stand 4. Because stand 4 was her longest poke, right, that you can combo from. And there was really no reason to use her other stuff. Sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes characters have moves that you don't really need to use, but they're there if you need them. And even though Li Mei she doesn't really have that much, just I think forward 3-4 by itself, I just never happened to use it. But that was probably just on me. And I just had a simpler time just doing what I know how to do, of course, right? Just jab, hit confirm, combos, it is what it is. And I believe this is the last match, right? This should be the last match, yeah. So we'll just try and reflect on it real quick. Yeah, look at that fake out forward 3. You can cancel it, if they have reactions, they're gonna try and block, right? And you can cancel it, throw. You can set some shit up, but I am not that good. I don't think he's that good either. We're both kind of just struggling to keep up here. But if it does the trick, it does the trick. You see me there. So thing is, Li Mei does have a mid. I forgot. I just never used it. Li Mei has a bag 2 mid, but it's a one hit mid. Okay, it's bag 2-1. It's a safe mid which has a gap. Almost impossible to hit confirm from. Like, you're only gonna hit confirm if you know you're gonna land that, okay? So you never use it. Every time I use her bag 2 wants to call in Frost. And I knew that shit was not gonna work. I was like, I just needed space, and Frost is really good at giving you space with a neutral assist. It has pushback in the corner, it's plus. So if they try pressing, you're gonna get your stand 1-2 first before they do. And there's not really much of a reason to use it apart from that. Like, yeah, you could do a poke into bag 2, but that bag 2 is kind of slow, and you don't get much from it. Like, the thing about Lime is, you're not gonna hit confirm bag 2 into EX projectile. It's unsafe on block, it's a hard hit confirm. Like, you're gonna need to know that it's gonna land. So, there was just no reason to really try and use it. You could try, but like, it's too much of a risk reward, and like, you're labbing a one hit confirm. Sometimes there's just no need to do such thing when you can just try and poke and jail your jabs, right? Which it is a thing in this game, thankfully. You cannot mash pokes. That's just how I feel about that bag 2. That bag 2, it's alright, but that's it. It's alright. It's really situational all around. I think this should be final round, so let's see what's up happening here. That down 4 of hers is really good poke. It has less range than I think almost everybody else's down 4, but it's good. It's a down 4 and it does what it should do, which is just, you know, checking them from a longer range. Then you see me calling Frost with her anti-projectile properties, but if you hit her like right when she's coming out, right, it's not gonna work. And you take damage when they hear your cameo, so it is what it is. Here you see me do her basic shit. I'm surprised I didn't go for a jump midi. There I tried to jump, but I got a knock block. I'm really hoping to change that. If you're blocking and you try to jump, if you overlap the inputs, you're gonna get a knock block, and that shit is really bad, because if they throw you, you lose 22% or like 20% of life. It's horrendous. But here you see me, I think I end up winning with just chip out. Or I armored. Yeah, I armored because I'm a bot, right? Why not? Why shouldn't you armor? It's there, use it. Everybody has an armor move. It's there for a reason. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.